Great. Well, hey everybody, welcome. Uh, very excited to be here. We'll get started in a few minutes. Uh, while we're doing that, you should be able to see a live chat area on the left-hand side of the screen here. I think I heard somewhere that close to 40 countries are represented here. It may even be more than that. So in chat on the left, go ahead and tell us what country you're currently in right now watching this from, and then we'll get started here in a few minutes. Our team is super excited to be here at MIM conference. One of the things we can't wait to show you is sort of what a collaborative approach can do for more unique and complex situations that come up. Awesome. Yeah, so put your country in the chat on the left, and then we'll get started in about 30 seconds here. All right, excellent. Well, welcome to the collaborative approach to major incident management response, and happy stakeholders. Let's go ahead and just get started here. All right, so if you're able to stick around until the end, we have a special surprise for you if you wait until the end. So, and then also some housekeeping. Close any tabs that are a distraction. If something happens in the middle of this, maybe just hit refresh to see if you can get back in. And then obviously, if you have any questions at all, put those questions in chat and we'll take care of them there. Our team's ready to answer any questions you might have there. So just a quick introduction. At AlertOps, we exist to help top brands resolve major incidents faster. We were built specifically for Fortune companies that have major incidents on Black Friday. And that's a true story. That's why we exist today, and that's kind of how we were built initially. AlertOps, we work with Fortune 50, Global 2000 companies, and this is really what we're passionate about. We're passionate about major incident management and helping teams and organizations respond in unity. One thing that we're very proud of is how well our platform fits with highly complex use cases that teams are faced with today. Because teams have so many different tools they have to deal with, so many different teams, and now it's different countries and regions, so it's just becoming more and more complex. So that's just a little bit about us. So incident management needs, where do you see yourself on this graph? Are you on the left? Are you on the right? I'm assuming everyone here is, in mid-market or enterprise, but if you're an SMB, if you're a small business, this still applies. Typically what we see is an ownership approach on the left, right? Adam has it covered, right? Adam has this incident. He's got it. He's responsible for it. He owns it. And then, we see a shift to collaboration on the right. Teams A, B, and C saw the incident, and then Adam, he took assignment of the incident, and he can share that alert to, other relevant teams as needed for help. So a lot of complexity, even on how we respond on the right there. The other thing to note is that as you travel to the right, needs get more unique, not just complex, but unique, right? Very specific use cases with again, dozens of tools and teams. So as you shift right, things get more complex and they get more unique. So go ahead on a piece of paper, if you have one next to you or a napkin near you, write down where you think you fit on this sort of continuum. Are you a small business? Are you kind of in the mid-market area? Are you an enterprise? And then what do you currently have? Do you have an ownership approach? Do you have collaboration? Or maybe you have something and you want something else? Just kind of quickly write down what that is for you. Our customers tell us 1 hour of downtime costs them between $500,000 and $1 million customers, or sorry, $500,000 and $1 million. So that's a pretty huge pain point, and that's where we kind of see the word major come into play. Obviously, a major incident could be relevant, to different use cases. Different companies might have a different word for that. But when we're talking about a major incident, we're talking about a major impact to the business's bottom line. And if you're in mid-market or enterprise, typically it's going to be over $100,000 an hour. Could be $500,000, could even be $1 million for 1 hour. So kind of going back to that collaboration approach, what a collaborative approach looks like. What we're seeing is the need to shift toward collaboration for mid-market and enterprise. Right. So what we end up really is we have two approaches. One is an ownership approach where one person is essentially responsible for handling an incident, and it escalates vertically to maybe his boss, his boss's boss, his boss's boss's boss, right? It keeps going up vertically. The second approach is a collaborative, or some people might call it a swarm approach, where relevant teams are notified and can acknowledge incidents, and anyone from those teams can take assignment with the ability to open, update, close tickets in like ServiceNow or another ITSM tool, and then share the alert with other key teams that may be able to help, or do any number of other complex tasks. So instead of it just going vertically, now we're going horizontally. And what this approach is really about is empowering teams to effectively respond faster while effectively escalating the issue to various stakeholders. Right. So ownership is good if the guy doesn't know what he's doing and he's been there a week. It's not good. Another point I'll make on this is, when's the last time you saw an out-of-the-box version of ServiceNow? Like, I have yet to see one. So we're talking about complex needs that require flexibility. Some other things that are a part of a collaborative approach might be, a no-code open API, right? The ability to grab custom fields from an ITSM tool. Nested groups, nested schedules that kind of reflect an organization structure, right? There's always a manager, and underneath that manager is employees, right? So that kind of nested structure. And then the schedule should kind of reflect that as well. Collaborative approach means you can share alerts across teams. It means that you're sharing information. You're communicating, right, as an organization. So that might mean you can assign things or acknowledge things. So you might be able to take assignment of an incident, or just acknowledge that, hey, I saw this, right, and then let somebody else take assignment of that alert. Something else might be a partnership mentality, right? So, especially with a platform like ours, which is a collaborative approach, we take much more of a partnership approach to how we deal with our customers. We're looking for a tight fit, where it's a unique and sort of custom fit that serves you, and it's not just a product that you're going to buy and use 20% of it. So, with that comes kind of white glove onboarding, and then also dynamic stakeholder alerting. So those are kind of some of the key features we would say you should look for in a sort of a collaborative approach, and a platform that would go with that. Some typical pain points we see, you know, basic on-call schedules, right? So instead of just a basic on-call schedule, you need flexible, multi-layered schedules and group management that mirrors org structures. And we talked about that, you know, briefly, and that's, I think, a huge pain point. Another one that kind of comes up between this sort of ownership collaborative approach is siloed alerts, right? The ability to easily share rich alerts across their organization to reach different teams and stakeholders across the globe is crucial. You know, the third thing is a restrictive API. If you're going to have a collaborative approach and you're going to have these complex environments, complex needs, unique needs, you can't have restrictions. You need a no-code open API with the ability to build custom automations, you know, to trigger communications, actions with, you know, two-way integrations, things like that. So these are kind of three common pain points that kind of keep coming up in relation to specifically mid-market enterprise major incident management pain points. So where does this fit? Where does this major incident management response platform that I need fit in? Well, it fits in sort of in the middle of a whole bunch of different tools. It's almost like a hub that connects everything. So in this sort of infographic on the left, you have a bunch of monitoring tools and you know, AlertOps as a platform accepts all of those events. And then there's two-way integrations that happen with ITSM ticketing tools like ServiceNow, BMC. There's two-way integration with collaboration tools or chat tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams. And then, you know, two-way integration with the tech responders, team schedules, automatic escalations, and then finally the public status, right? We're notifying stakeholders. Maybe we're updating the status page. So that's kind of where AlertOps fits in. It's kind of in the middle of all these different things, and it just helps manage response for the whole organization. Right. Well, what does that look like, right? You might be wondering, well, what does that look like for me or my organization? How do I fit this in with what I'm doing right now? Or, you know, what does that look like as far as my workflows go, my processes go? Well, here's kind of what that looks like. So, you know, to start with, on the left-hand side, we have essentially automation and alerts, right? We're alerting teams. And we have, this is sort of an SLA. If you could think about this as an SLA timeline, the left-hand side, we're going to have, you know, the initial part, the triage, some of the triage as far as, is it dev, is it production, what severity is it? And then we're going to move to the right towards, you know, resolving it. This isn't a perfect representation, but, you know, it kind of maybe gives you an idea in your head of, okay, I see how this works and kind of where this fits in and how I can use it myself. So on the left-hand side here, is it dev? No. Okay. Well, is it production? Yes. What's severity? Well, it's Sev 1. Okay. Well, let's notify the primary by push notification, which is signified by that little hand there, that hand icon, right? And it's going to say, okay, server, you know, PD1 is down. All right. Just as an example, it's a technical message. You know, we're just saying, hey, this thing's down. You know, secondary server PD1 is down, right? So maybe the first guy didn't get it. It's waiting 5 minutes and it's going to go to secondary. And then maybe it's also going to send the secondary an email then also, right? So it's kind of like you can control how you want this flow to go, but within that team or multiple teams, it's sending to whoever's on call. And then as we shift over to the right here, and also on the left here, there's that status page at the end, right? So real quick, you know, it's triggered actions. There's two-way no-code open API. So we can update the status page. We can open a ticket in, you know, ServiceNow. You would be able to, you know, open a new Slack channel. And that's kind of where we're getting at in that middle part. But these two parts on the left both kind of merge together. But anyway, let's go to the next phase of that, which is, triggering actions, opening a bridge, adding any other additional teams to this. So, if I decide that, I need some help, or this shouldn't have gone to our team, it needs to go to another team, or we need to include another team on the bridge, I can do that. I can add the infrastructure team or the DevOps team or the database team. And then I can open, like I said previously, we can open and close a chat channel, open and close a ticket in ServiceNow, and do a whole bunch of stuff in all of these. Since it's an open API, essentially all of those fields that you have in those tools can come over to AlertOps. Even if they're custom fields that you've created, they'll all be accessible in AlertOps. So you can send your team very granular information, which is absolutely critical for resolving incidents faster. And then the final step here, right? So that those first two, I guess, vertical slices, those happen in like 5 minutes or less. Okay, we're talking like very fast. A lot of that happens instantaneously. The rest of this is sort of just managing and updating stakeholders, managing the incident, responding, coming up with a solution to resolve it, right? So that's kind of where just by being able to triage the incident and effectively communicate with people across the globe to collaborate together, that's where a lot of the time saving is that those first two slices right there. The rest of it is keeping stakeholders happy, right? Keeping them in the loop, but then not letting them bother the engineers that are actually working on it, right? So kind of this third slice here, the director might get, hey, SLA alert, server, P1 is still down. And this is just assuming that later down the road, they're getting notified maybe 30 minutes later, right? After the incident occurs. They're not getting notified 5 minutes after or 1 minute after it occurs necessarily, right? They may be just need to know that something's still going on. Like my team still hasn't resolved this, so I need to start managing the situation. VP, C-levels, customers, they can all get different messages. And that's something that I really wanted to clarify in this slide specifically is, if you have customers or partners, you can let them know, hey, we have an ongoing incident and we're working to resolve it and we'll keep you posted. And that could be an email, it could be a text message, it could be any number of different methods. And then finally, when everything's fixed, we can send out, hey, everything's operational again. We can update the status page, close tickets, all of that stuff at the very end there. So that's sort of, what you get. That's how you can kind of fit this into your process. So now that you've kind of seen what that could potentially look like and kind of how that works, what results can you expect, right? So, now that you've seen it, what if I implement it now? What results can you expect? Well, you'll have improved quality and speed with two-way automated workflows between your monitoring tools and your on-call team or NOC and your ticketing tool, right? And what this means is you'll be able to automate and solidify processes across teams or even the organization. So essentially, you'll be able to create and enforce escalation, prioritization, and response policy. Like you'll be able to build that and enforce that. The second result is you'll be able to respond to various types of stakeholders. And some examples of that could be the director, the VP, C-levels. It could be public relations, right? After it's been a while, maybe they need to be notified that something's going on. You need to come up with a response to the public. It could be partners, customers. It could even be brick and mortar locations, right? Letting them know that something's going on, that you're working on it, keeping them updated and in the loop. And you'll be able to respond to them when, where, and how they want to be notified. So with that comes the ability to send various types of messages. For instance, the CIO probably doesn't want or need to be receiving technical messages, right? Right? He wants a human readable, like we're fixing the problem, right? He doesn't want excuses. He wants it done. We're working on it. We're fixing the problem. There's an issue. He doesn't need to know what server was down or, what was spiking. And he certainly doesn't need to be woken up at 2 a.m, while something's flapping or something's happening. What we want to keep stakeholders happy. Am I right? Do you agree? Put that in chat. Say, yes, we want to keep stakeholders happy. You will have happy stakeholders as a result of this. Thirdly, you will have automated on-call handling, right? With groups and schedules that mirror your org structure. And we've talked about that a few times. So this includes built-in vacation day handling, maintenance windows, and profile-based time zones. So, Team A in the USA and Team B is in India. They'll be able to each see things based on their own time zones. And then that can be a huge time saver. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten times wrong between time zones. So that's a huge benefit as well. The fourth result that you'll see is you'll have the ability to manually page teams based on predefined topics. Essentially you click a couple buttons and the right people are notified and or updated based on the type of incident that occurred. So what you'll be able to do is essentially build out custom scenarios that you face, right, either on a regular basis, or you'll just have a plan for those when they do happen. You'll be able to select them from a drop down then later when the incident happens. So everything's ready to go in a snap, and that greatly reduces MTTR, right? You don't have to necessarily figure out which groups get notified. You don't have to write the message every single time, right? Everything's predefined. The people that get notified, the type of message going out, what content is included. There's even dynamic content that can go in that, and then you can manually do that as a team, send that out right when there's something that's happening based on the type of situation that you're facing. So that's huge. Right, so before, you probably have a 1-hour SLA, right? Those are just a few key results the platform provides, but ultimately, before you may have had something like this, a 1-hour SLA, moving to a collaborative approach and a platform that's enabled and that's helped other Fortune customers reduce MTTR by 50% or 30 minutes. That's huge. So go back to what you wrote down earlier and take a look at what you wrote down earlier as far as what this could save you. Right, so what would that be for you? So, each of you has a number in mind, maybe for, what this is for your team, or maybe you don't know yet, and that's okay. What I want you to do is in chat, put in a ballpark number of, say, how long 50% would be for you. So if you typically resolve incidents in 2 hours, then 50% would be 1 hour. So what would that be for you or your team or your organization? Go ahead and write that in chat, and we'll wait a minute before moving on, see what kind of results pop in. Great, yeah, throw them in chat. Okay, so here's what they're saying, right? Here's what some of our customers are saying about us, and I just want to kind of reiterate that collaborative approach, the unique situations, unique scenarios, the high complexity needed, and the flexibility needed to match that. Some of the key kind of words or phrases that keep popping out are highly customizable, no shortage when it comes to their features and functionality configuration, and it's reduced our response times by at least 50% on business critical issues, and that's from a Fortune 1000 right there. So our customers are telling us this is huge. Shifting to this collaboration approach is extremely effective. Not only does it help us reduce response time, but we have all this additional customization available to us that we didn't have before. We're able to, integrate with tools in a way that we weren't able to before. Get all those granular fields, give those to our team. So there's a lot of qualitative feedback that we get as well in that area. And then thank you for staying all the way to the end. We do have a secret giveaway for you. You'll get a PDF, and then as soon as you get that, you'll also get sort of a secret giveaway that we're running right now, specifically for MIM conference. So go ahead and go to joe.my/MIM-VIP, and we'll try to put that in the chat here as well, so you guys can just click on that. But go ahead and enter that. We'll be giving away. Should I say what we're giving away? We're giving away a T-shirt and it's just a special sort of credit for people that do decide to run a trial. So next steps. Feel free to go to get a demo from our team. You can also do that in chat with us here or at our stand. You can also visit alertops.com/demo to get a personalized walkthrough today for your specific and unique use case. You can also go just sign up for a free trial at alertops.com/pricing. We recommend you just choose the enterprise package, and then that way you can see all the different features available. And then after your trial's done, you can either be done with it and continue on enterprise, or you can kind of tell us, hey, I really liked enterprise, but I want to downgrade and just go with like premium, and then we can easily do that for you as well. So next steps: join the giveaway, book a demo, or sign up for a free trial. Thank you all so much. We'll keep this up for another couple minutes here and answer any questions you have in chat. Thank you, and we really appreciate it.